Welcome to Fuck Grammar. Today, in episode 9, I'll be using the sentence, "I'm sorry, but I don't give a fuck," to learn how to join clauses with the coordinating conjunction. So remember, the whole point of this grammar instruction is to improve your writing. I don't give a fuck about grammar, except in how I can use it to help you improve your writing. So up until now, I haven't been quite as precise as I could have been about the word sentence. I didn't quite tell the whole truth.
Don't lie.
I wasn't lying. I only lie about how much I masturbate and if I like butt stuff, which I don't.
Don't lie.
To be more precise then, a clause is the thing that needs a subject and a predicate. That's a clause. It's also a sentence. Here's the difference. A clause is always just one set of subject and predicate. A sentence can be a set of subject and predicate. A sentence can be a clause, but a sentence can also be 2 clauses or 3 clauses or 4 clauses. Here's an example. She fucks. That is both a clause and a sentence. Capital letter, period. Let's add another clause with a coordinated conjunction to make the sentence longer. She fucks and I fuck. Whenever you join a clause to another clause with a coadjunct, you always use a comma. Thanks to Wanda Sykes' comedy special on Netflix for suggesting this idea. I Googled Melania's titties. That's a clause and a sentence. Let's add another clause. I Googled Melania's titties and I learned new things. That's 2 clauses, 1 sentence. Let's add a third clause. I Googled Melania's titties and I learned new things, but I regret it. Let's do 4 clauses in 1 sentence. I Googled Melania's titties and I learned new things, but I regret it. So, I am sorry. I'm not sorry. This sentence is starting to look a little bit long. It's not grammatically wrong, it's perfectly correct, but it is, kind of stylistically awkward. The coadjuncts are great, but they shouldn't be overused. I would say as a general rule of thumb, I would try not to use more than, say, 2 coadjuncts in any one sentence. Any more than that, and it starts to look like perhaps you've only got, 1 tool in your tool chest.
I hope you like missionary position. I only have 1 tool and I only know how to do 1 thing with it. Also, I don't really like butt stuff.
Oh, Mom, what are you doing in here? There are other tools for joining clauses. The subordinating conjunction, the semicolon, and the colon all join clauses. We're going to be getting to those in the near future. So you may be looking at this sentence and looking at how long it is, and you might be asking yourself, isn't that called a run-on sentence? Isn't that wrong? Well, no. It's, again, grammatically perfect, stylistically problematic, but it's not a run-on sentence. A run-on sentence is a specific grammatical mistake where you take a clause and another clause and you try to join them incorrectly with a comma. We talked about this in lesson 2. And back in lesson 2, I suggested that you take that one clause and take the other clause and put a period in between them to separate the 2 clauses. Again, and that is perfectly correct. Sometimes that is the correct choice. Here's the problem though. As we mature as writers, we're trying to make our sentences in general, within reason, bigger and longer. And a period breaks sentences into smaller bits. And we need periods. There's nothing wrong with periods. They're beautiful, they're natural, there's nothing to be ashamed about the period. But I don't think anyone's going to deny that a period can occasionally be, uncomfortable, or a period can show up at the wrong time. I think most people would agree that we could do with maybe a few less periods in our lives, in our writing, and that maybe we could place those periods with a comma and a conjunct instead. Back when I was talking about joining words with conjuncts, I focused on and or. When I was talking about joining phrases with conjuncts, I focused on and. But clauses, we can really open it up and look at all the conjuncts, or at least the 4 that I'm focusing on. So, or, and, but. So let's take 2 clauses and let's put them together with different conjuncts and see how that changes their meaning. So how about I wanted a pizza, period. And the other clause, I wanted that ass, period. Let's join those 2 clauses into one sentence with a conjunct. I wanted that pizza, comma, but I wanted that ass. So here we have maybe a choice, like I'm going to have one thing, but maybe I'll have the other. But say you don't like butts.
Son of a bitch, Mom!
Maybe let's add another conjunct in and see how that changes the meaning. I wanted a pizza, or I wanted that ass. Sounds like you're going to make a choice, one or the other. Let's do another one. I wanted a pizza, and I wanted that ass. Sounds like you're aiming for both. I wanted a pizza, so I wanted that ass. I don't know what that means. What? Like maybe he's a delivery man? He's coming like, you know. So let me give you a sentence that's a little bit more complex. Melania's titties, ass, and pizza might be delicious, but I would prefer plastic bags or broken glass. As we're writing sentences that get longer and bigger, they can start to seem overwhelming, like how am I supposed to know what's going on? There's too much stuff here. But the more comfortable you become with understanding the parts of a sentence, the easier it is to see how you punctuate it correctly. The easier it is to see, oh, 3 subjects joined with a conjunct, comma. Oh, 2 clauses joined with a conjunct, comma. 2 direct objects joined with a conjunct, it's only 2, no comma. You can see the little pieces and figure out the different comma rules or the different comma guidelines. You're gaining that power. Looking at our fuck sentence of the day, I'm sorry, but I don't give a fuck. I think you'll see why we have a comma in the sentence. We have a comma because we have clause number 1, I'm sorry, joined to clause number 2, I don't give a fuck, with the conjunct but. And when we're joining 2 clauses with a conjunct, we always have a comma. It doesn't matter if we're joining 1 clause or 2 clauses or 3 clauses. If we've got a clause joined to a clause with a conjunct, put a comma in front of that conjunct. Done. Make sense? I hope that as you're writing now, you're recognizing that you're writing subjects and predicates. I hope that you're like, oh, I see, I use coordinated conjunctions. I use the conjuncts, and now I know how I'm using them correctly. But I'm sure a lot of us need some practice. I know I would. Head over to grammaraf.com. On the menu bar, it says YouTube videos. On that page, all my videos are there. Next to each video is a little link where you can practice writing the sentences, punctuating the sentences, and diagramming the sentences. There's a little answer key along with each sentence. I guess that's it. I hope you're benefiting. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, leave them in the comment section below. And I look forward to hearing from you. Until next time, bye.